if you would join us.
Hey folks, welcome back to another Star Wars Black Series action figure review. We've got the Commando Droid number 18 from the Clone Wars. Been looking forward to this one quite a bit. I didn't actually... No, I did. I was only going to... I was going to get two. Probably will end up getting another one, but I only pre-ordered one. I just wanted to see how it goes. But I like having two of each droid. It says on the back there, stealthy yet powerful elite commando droids are tougher and faster with their than their clanker cousins with complex engineering and advanced processes. So yeah, I've been looking forward to this guy. You know, they're starting to really tackle the separatists and the droids. Some of the great figures we've had in the last couple of years. The Droid Eco, the B2, really cool stuff. And you know we're going to get some variations of this guy as well. Hopefully an ND5 from Outlaws. Seen a lot of people do some customs already, so that's really cool. But yeah, let's crack this guy open and have a look. All right, and here is the Commando Droid out of the packaging. He's looking pretty cool actually. He's a little bit of a smaller figure in terms of, you know, plastic. What you're actually getting in this with this action figure, and he's a little bit. You know, he's a battle droid. He's a little bit skeletal, a little bit wobbly. You may need some stands. KesslerOnHair.com is the place to get these stands, as well as pre-ordering your figures. And with each pre-order, we're going to throw in a 10-pack of stands. So that's a pretty cool incentive, I think, you know, just to start building up those stands. But yeah, I was going to do the peg test straight away just so we can get him on the stand and get him without any topples throughout the video. So there we go. We've got him in motion. Let's see if we can get him on one leg. There we go. So yeah, weapon-wise, he comes with his sort of droid blaster. I'm not sure whether there's going to be anywhere to store that on him. It doesn't look like it. We do have his vibro blade though, which, you know, it's fine. Needs a little bit of paint, I think. You know, that's just it's almost a pinky grey color. It's a little bit, just feels a little bit lazy. But there is a peg there, so you'll be able to crank that on the back there. And it pegs in quite nicely. I just think a little bit more color on that blade, at least with the handle. Yeah, that would have been a big improvement. But take a look at the figure. It's not too bad. In terms of you know, talk about value for money, it's not too bad. Again, it's just a little bit small amount of plastic what you get. And you know, you'd hope that, you know, some little details like that would just top it off that a little bit more. But I do like the Commando droids. They're pretty cool. Usually made their debut in the Clone Wars, the episode Rookies. They were pretty cool there. You can sort of see they've got that almost. You'd almost call this a B3 battle droid. I don't know. It's sort of an upgrade to an upgrade. You know, they've got the B1s. And they sort of upgraded them to a powerful B2. And they're like, no, we need something that strong, but a little bit more slender. So this is what we've got, the Commando droid. I'm just having a look at this sort of odd sort of torso here. It's sort of parts here seem a little bit twisted. I'm wondering whether that's intentional, part of the figure. I'll have to play around a little bit and see how that moves and stuff like that. You can kind of see, you know, maybe that's... Oh no, it is moving a little bit. I feel like each individual, those ribs, I suppose, are sort of individually pieced together. But maybe there's a little bit of extra plastic in one of them, so not a big deal. Do like the colours. I like the sort of the metallic look. And you can just sort of see there are some sort of metal sort of scuffing and stuff on the edges, up on the shoulders. So that's nice. I do like the contrast with it's like a purpley grey, purpley gunmetal almost. But I like that contrast with the orange of the joints and the the muscles, I suppose. Get that blaster in his hand there. But yeah, this guy's not too bad. He's pretty solid. I reckon you get some good posing happening with this one. In terms of his articulation, got a ball and socket in the top of the head there. He's got a ball hinge in the neck, and that is... Will that spin? Yes, it will. But you can get that to turn. And that looks like a bigger ball and socket there in the neck there as well. That's just a little bit fiddly, so be careful with that. You don't want to crack any of these joints. Ball and socket in the shoulders as well as the hinge on the arm piece that's coming out. Now, yeah, so you can kind of get that little bit of extra movement there. You can kind of get that real sort of rocky back and forth. In and out. Swivel at the top of the bicep, tricep, and then the hinge in the elbow. I'm going to remember my joints. Ball hinges in the wrists, swivels in the hands. Again, that sort of twist joint through the top there. A little bit of movement throughout that sort of rib cage, I guess. Ball and socket in the top of the thighs there. Ball hinge in the knee. So that sort of swivel joint there as well. Ball hinge in the ankle and a rocker joint in the foot. So you get this guy posed up, you could get him looking pretty cool, I think. You know, these guys are sort of quick movers, fast to act. Not too bad at all. I would like to get a second one, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to be in any rush. I think one's good for my shelf at the moment. You can kind of see that ball joint coming through there. It's well engineered. It's an interestingly engineered figure. I'm just having a look. That's kind of see a little bit of a ball and socket in there, and then in there. So these three parts there are separate, and then this top piece in there. This fourth plate is individual as well. So yeah, very interesting figure. You know, I only ever had a couple of these in 3 3/4 from the Clone Wars line. So it's always going to be interesting to see how they did this one come Black Series. Well, I'd like to see an ND5 as well. But hey, I'd like to hear what you think of this one. I think that looks pretty cool. Not disappointed. Probably just in the blade. I feel like, yeah, that just needs a little bit more detail, and that'd be cooking. But again, love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment down below. Jump over to KesselRunHead.com. Check out the pre-orders. You can do a little bit of a, oh no you didn't. Yeah, get your pre-orders in there, and we got our lot shipped out today. So anyone that did pre-order should have theirs early next week, which is great. Always nice if we can get them out before the end of the week. Yeah, we'll catch you again very soon for more toy reviews. Till then, may the force be with you always.